Hello, welcome to the channel again. I'm Mark. It's Saturday night. I've got my what have I got? Got my Jim Beam and Coke with some stone ice cubes. You can't see them. Have a little sip. Oh, bit strong that. So last week, was it last week or maybe just a little bit over a week? Episode 2, I finished off saying how I injured my knee. Basically, pretty sure I injured my knee in week. I think it was week 18, possibly. Yeah, it was week at the end of week 18, doing a troop attack on Woodbury Common near. I think it was near Forfar. For those that you know, Woodbury Common. Tripped on a piece of wire. Went flying through it. Had me webbing, my day sack, helmet, CBA. Rifle. It's heavy. So running, basically the first point of contact was my knee, like that on the floor. Split my patellar tendon down the middle. Pulled it off my knee. Apparently, shoved the kneecap between the two bones of your leg, the whatever they're called, I can't remember. The two leg bones, yeah. So it was quite. It hurt. It hurt pretty that way. But when you're in training, you don't want to admit to injury or illness or anything like that. So I didn't say anything. I carried on and probably made it a lot worse than it probably would have been. To be fair, I couldn't even hold up my own body weight, and I was trying to yomp back to Livingston with my Bergen on, just kept falling over. Oh, for those of you that aren't military or whatever, or maybe you're you join Marine soon and you don't know what a troop attack is. So a troop attack is basically you have eight. You have three sections of eight, and then a troop headquarters. But yeah, so troop attack is basically a troop level action, if you like. Is what it is. So it's you got three sections of eight, all doing an attack. You got probably two in attack, one in reserve. Anyway, got that boy. So yeah, I really did a number on my knee. I remember getting the back of the wagon, and I think I went. I don't know if I've said this already, but one of the training team, Corporal Munro, his name. What's wrong with you, Kemp? I said, I've hurt my knee, Corporal. He's like, oh, well, just spare a thought for my sister. Just been told she's got cancer. She's got kids. As a recruit, I mean, I probably wouldn't know what to say now, to be honest, if someone said that to me, but I didn't really know what to say, so I went, I'm sorry to hear that, and before I could even say, I'm sorry to hear that, Corporal, he just turned around and screamed, I don't want your fucking sympathy, you cunt, or something like that, Didn't really know, at the time, I just sort of, just stayed quiet. Now it's funny. I mean, I hope his sister was okay. I hope she pulled through. So yeah, when got back to camp, so got drove down sort of past the guard room. You're coming through the gates, turn left around the camp circuit and into where the stores are, to where that courtyard is behind the stores. Got myself out of the wagon, laid there, and a troop sergeant comes over. Sergeant Kelly, don't know his first name. A Cockney geezer, from what I remember. Comes over. What's wrong with you? You got blisters? I don't know. I don't know why I thought I had blisters. I probably did have blisters, to be fair. I can't really remember, to be honest. But I said, no, Sergeant. And then I pulled my trouser leg up, and he just went, "Oh, you're fucked. You'll be off to Hunter." So that was like the end of week 18, and I know that the next week after I did that, I was in camp, and I got to ice my knee like 3 times a day. So like morning, probably like as soon as we probably finished with a day, and then before I went to bed, maybe I got But yeah, I know I was icing my knee 3 times a day over at the med centre. And it actually started getting better, to be fair. But the other problem is that I couldn't do any bottom field sessions because like I couldn't even hold up my own body weight without crutches. Basically, like I remember before they gave me crutches, I was literally, I wasn't marching. I know that. I remember. I think I was in Exeter train station for some reason. Must have been a long weekend, maybe. Yeah, and I just fell over on the floor. I wasn't drunk or anything like that, and not had anything to drink. I just couldn't hold my own body weight up. My knee just kept collapsing. So did that week on camp, and then so that was week 19. And week 20 was exercise Dorset Leap, I think. I'm sure I'm recapping. So basically, did an 8 mile CFT combat fitness test. It was just like 2 goes around this 4 mile loop down in Bovington, working with the Viking Armoured Support Troop or Armoured Support Company or whatever they were called at the time. My knee was actually feeling alright, to be fair, and I remember we had a brief in the back of one of these Vikings with the troop commander, Captain Orton, and as we were getting out, he was in front of me, and he never checked if anyone was behind him. For some reason, he just like closed the door, and he closed it right on me, right on my knee. And I just felt fucking everything like ripping and stuff again, and it weren't pleasant. Basically, I couldn't do anything else really in the exercise apart from do sentry duty, which was fun. I think we had another 2 days left of the exercise, I think. So then we basically, exercise ended, went back to Lympstone, and I had to go to the med centre because my knee, because I remember week 21 you do bottom field pass out, and I'd not even done any bottom field sessions because I couldn't basically do anything. Oh, actually, sorry, I'm getting mixed up. My knee did keep collapsing, but that was when I was in Hunter Company after I'd had the door slammed on it. So yeah, I was able to hold my own weight up during week 19. So sorry, I'll correct myself. Yeah, so yeah, I had to go to the med centre. Basically said, yeah, you need to get your stuff. You're joining Hunter Company, which is like that. It's a thing that it's like spoke of in like hushed tones. So it's like something to be ashamed of, but with so many people get injured in training and go through Hunter Company, I don't think it's anything really to be ashamed of. I think the way you conduct yourself in Hunter Company will show what kind of a person you are. I know there are some people who just get really comfortable there. I guess it's hard not to be comfortable because it's easier, and you're still getting paid, you're still getting fed. I mean, some people are there for years. And one guy was like in there for 4 years, and the thing is, they won't medically discharge you until you've like reached a certain point of recovery and all this type of stuff. So if you're going to take 4 years to recover from an injury, then you probably end up staying there for 4 years. And I would find that, maybe because I really wanted to be a Marine, I really wanted to be a bootneck, I probably would have found that soul destroying. Yeah, so you go down to Hunter Company. Hunter Company is split. There's Hunter 1 and Hunter 2. Hunter 1 is where you go for like medical reasons, basically. So I was in there for medical. Hunter 2, bit mixed. So you go into Hunter 2 when you've recovered or allegedly recovered from your medical issue, whatever it is, or I think if you get back trooped like twice or maybe 3 times for the same thing. Basically, if you're not performing, you're not passing tests and stuff like that, you can be sent to Hunter 2 for remedial training, and that is something I wouldn't wish on anyone. But again, I guess it depends on how much you want to be a bootneck. So it happens to people. Not everyone learns at the same pace. A lot of some people struggle with like map reading. Some struggle with anything like if you keep failing Baptist Run. Spoke about last week. You might find yourself in Hunter 2 going over the things that you didn't pass in Baptist Run. So yeah, you turn up to Hunter Company. Do like a company enrollment. There was like a building. It had its own building. It's got its own training team, own accommodation, and all that type of stuff. So Hunter 1 you when you get there, you'll go and see a physio, and they'll give you like programs to do to try and get over whatever medical thing it is that you've got. So I went to see a physio. I remember sitting on the bed in Hunter Hall, which is the gym. Well, it was called Hunter Hall. I think it was definitely named after Thomas Peck Hunter, VC winner. Sitting in there having a physio session. No point in telling about the physio session. So yeah, and I was there for I think about 5 weeks, and he said, "Oh, we'll think you'll be back in training within 6 weeks." I think I was there for about 5. So then what happens is once you've got over your medical, or they think you're over your medical issue, they then put you in Hunter 2 to get fit again. And it depended on what stage of training you were in, I think, to what you had to do. So if you're week 15 or above, you had to pass a 4 mile speed march, and I think a bottom field session, or it might have been if you were in above week 21, you had to do a 4 mile and the bottom field session. But basically, to get back into mainstream training, I had to pass a 4 mile speed march, which is 4 miles in 40 minutes with webbing weighing £21 and a rifle. So it's about 30-ish pounds altogether, which is going to be about around 15 kilogram ish, something around there. And on the first, well, I only did one speed march, and I didn't think I was ready personally. But you know, you're a recruit, you don't really say that. Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah, get me back into training. I think within about 2 miles, my tendon like ripped again. I felt it rip, and I remember that as well. And there was actually a woman PTI from like the New Zealand Army on exchange, and I remember her just looking down at me like I was like just, I don't know, just like a piece of dog mess. just looking down at me as I was like writhing around on the floor, screaming. Well, I wasn't screaming, but it was painful. I was definitely making some noises. So that was me. I accidentally clicked stop with on my mouse. Don't know what I'm doing. Where was I? Hunter Company. Yeah, 4 mile speed march. So yeah, then I had to basically leave Hunter 2, go back into Hunter 1, and honestly, then start the whole process all over again. Luckily, I didn't have to move my kit very far. I just had to get it moved upstairs, from what I remember. Yeah, so that was really, really poo. Yeah, like I said, I personally didn't think I was ready, but you know, they say, yeah, you're ready now. Off to Hunter 2, pass your 4 mile speed march, do your bottom field test, whatever. Off you go. Yeah, did my knee again. Back in Hunter 1, and I think it took just over a year, I think, to get fully healed, get fit again, and get back into training. Or maybe just under a year, maybe like, I don't know, 10 months or something. It's a long time, and you know, you see your troops, a 902 troop, they actually merged with 903 troop because there weren't enough of them left. I think there was like less than a section's worth of blokes left from 902, so we had to amalgamate at like week 23 or something, maybe something like that. But yeah, so you see, you know, the blokes from your original troop passing out of training, going off to units. You see, then you make friends, people who are in Hunter Company. They move on, they go into training, they move on, they pass out. So yeah, it wasn't particularly. It's hard to say. I mean, yeah, you can have fun in Hunter Company. You can actually learn some cool. I remember learning some cool stuff that I wouldn't have learned in training, like how to do fire missions and that type of stuff. So, but yeah, on the whole, I find it quite depressing. And I did want to quit. I wouldn't lie. I'm not gonna lie and say I didn't want to quit. I did want to quit, but the only thing that kept me there is that I knew if I quit, I would end up rejoining and have to start again from day one, week one, and that was something that I couldn't bear. I thought I'm going to end up coming back and I can't do all this again. I'm not doing it all again. So yeah, I think I was in Hunter, then Hunter 1, and then Hunter 2 again for like a combined total of like 10 months or something like this. Something like that. And eventually I made it back into training, but my fitness really wasn't where it should have been. Like to get back into training, yeah, I had to do a 4 mile speed march and then a bottom field pass out, which is like you go around the assault course, you do rope climbs, fireman carries, this type of stuff. And I was like flying around. I remember it was on. No, we weren't doing the bottom field pass out, but it was maybe like some other bottom field sessions. So you did like bottom field sessions. I remember I was like lapping people around the assault course, and the PT, I was like, yeah, this is great. Kemp, you're gonna find yourself back in training soon. But when I actually went back into mainstream training, I was like, I wasn't that fit. I was like one of the worst physically, because I've been in Hunter so long. But compared to the other Hunter 2 guys, I was like really fit. So it just goes to show how quickly you lose it. Yeah, and to go back into training again, it was then a physical struggle. You know, I got I got back trooped, failed like the 12-mile load carry or something. I just, no excuses, just couldn't do it. Well, I could do it, but I think it was more mental than anything else. I thought, you know, I've been out of the game for this long, I just can't do it. Obviously, eventually I did it. I got another chance and I did it then. Yeah, it was tough to go out of training for that long and then go back in. I don't think people always appreciate that. You know, they say, oh, you've been in Hunter, you've had a nice little break. I guess, yeah, physically you are resting, I guess, but it's not particularly good, because then it's very, or I found it quite hard to get that fitness back. But you know, it's just life. You know, life doesn't always go the way that we intend. It's not anything to be scared of. It's the way that we act when it happens. I think that, you know, sets the men from the boys. Anyway, it's a short one today. I just wanted to tell you a bit about Hunter Company. You know, sort of the things that happened to me there. No, I was there for a long time. So, oh, you do get a long weekend when you go in Hunter Company. That was a prof, I guess. I got to go home from like Friday to Sunday night. So wasn't worth it though. I'd still rather have stayed in training and gone all the way through. But yeah, so I'll be back next week. If you've got any questions about training, obviously training has changed since I went through it, but you know, any questions about Hunter Company, why I was such a biff, anything like that, you know, just leave a comment and I'll probably reply. Cheers. Oh, cheers.